Prior to 1700, life in Britain had not changed much for generations. Farming was ruled by seasons, and harvest was at the mercy of sun, rain, and wind. The agricultural revolution is one of the causes of the Industrial Revolution. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, people relied on subsistence farming. It met the needs of the community, but very little was left over. Farmers used a system of crop rotation. Each year, two of the three fields would be used to grow crops like barley or wheat, and the third field would be left empty for a year so that the soil could replenish its nutrients. This field was also used for grazing of cattle so that they could fertilize the soil. Each year, the farmers would rotate which field would be left empty and which would grow the crops. Thus, crop rotation is a man-made system but influenced by nature. In 1700, a man called Jethro Tull invented a seed drill. This could plant 3 rows of seeds at the same time. Prior to this, seeds needed to be planted by hand, but this was not always effective because sometimes the seeds blew away with the wind or were eaten by birds. Jethro's invention increased crop yield 5-fold. In 1730, the Rotherham plough had an iron blade, and the design made it lighter and easier to use than earlier ploughs. It only needed 2 horses instead of 4. This made it a more effective and efficient way to plough the land. During the 1730s, a gentleman called Lord Townshend introduced the Dutch 4-crop rotation system to Britain. The fields would now grow wheat, barley, cloves, and also turnips throughout 4 fields. The turnips and cloves helped nourish the soil with nutrients, which would produce a better wheat and barley crop the following year. During the winter months, farmers could now feed turnips to their cattle, meaning there was no need to slaughter the animals before the winter. By having items like cloves and turnips, it was also an extra source of food and income. Improvements in farming had a dramatic social and economic impact on Britain, as it took fewer people to produce more food. By the end of the 18th century, farming had been transformed from just serving the local community into a commercial opportunity to sell surplus food to emerging local and international markets. And since more food was being sold to local and international markets, that improves the economy and the money coming into Britain at that time.